Well, I got nothing against laughing at bad people when they're down. I feel bad about what I did yesterday. That was kind of a gross segment, but I don't feel bad about this one. This is good. This is what should be happening. Um, Mitch McConnell got booed. I'm not going to laugh at him because it's not hilarious. It's just interesting. Mitch McConnell got booed in his home state. Ooh, at a gathering he's been going to for as long as I've been paying attention to politics. It's interesting. It's not necessarily great news for the immediate because we need Mitch McConnell keeping the Republicans literally lawful, literally operating within the bounds of the law. We do love him or hate him. Let's be honest, hate him. We do require somebody serving that function in the Republican Party so long as the Republican Party exists. But let's also not mince words about who this guy is. His political career has led to the kind of savagery which you're about to see. He has backed people that encourage Republicans to be rude, to stay ignorant, to believe in conspiracy theories, and to be just cruel. Here he is trying to give a speech to the crowd he created. Now, real quick, what did McConnell say just then? I don't blame you if you couldn't hear him. This video, by the way, brought to us by the Telegraph. I don't blame you if you couldn't hear him. He said, we're up against folks who close schools and then tell you teachers' unions know what's best. Could barely hear him over the crowd shouting that it's time to retire. He is reaping here, the Grim Reaper, as he likes to call himself. He's reaping what he sowed. Let's keep it going. So all that chaos you're hearing, to me, that speaks of really one thing, one thing that's going to change U.S. politics. There is a split that's not going to heal in the Republican Party. The Republicans are going through the same thing we are. And this if you want to understand how Americans will act tomorrow, you got to understand where they are today, and you got to be brutally honest about it. They are going through the same thing we are. There is a faction within the party that is sick of the centrists telling them lies. They're sick of the centrists telling them, just hold on a little bit longer and we'll do the thing we've been saying we want to do. They are, unfortunately, on the Republican side, they're the people who listen to Fox News for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. They listened to Fox News. Did Fox News start in '93? I don't care. Whatever. They've listened to Fox News and said, "I want to get to it already. I'm sick of waiting. You've been telling me with little hints and winks that Christians are under attack. You've been telling me, Republicans, in your speeches that the gays are the problem, that brown people are the problem. I want to get to it already. When are we going to hurt them?" What have we been hearing from our leaders? We've been hearing we deserve health care for everybody. Everybody should be able to be healthy in America. Everybody should be fed in America. Nobody in America should be without a home. We've got to do something about global warming. That's what we've been hearing on the other side of that all this time. Both parties are experiencing the same thing. We're sick of waiting. Centrism is just waiting. That's what it comes down to. What is it to be a centrist? To compromise between this and that. The things we're trying to compromise between now don't really have anything to do with each other anymore. I believe we're dividing we're meiosing like a cell. I think another word for centrism is just conservatism. Old-fashioned, broad definition conservatism. It's just being slow to change. And there's nothing wrong with that. In some instances, I'm even okay with the general concept. But it is just what being conservative literally means. It's being slow to change. And the party that represents conservatives, just like the party that represents people on the left, theoretically, it does so in name only. It has nothing to do with being conservative. So I'm fully of the belief of really two things. Number one, what MAGA's pushing for, the actual things they are saying should be laws. You literally cannot run a democracy like that. So it won't exist. It just won't exist. Either they'll win and wreck everything. I give you Texas. I give you Florida. I give you anywhere where people love MAGA. Or they'll lose. And they will lose so badly that we just do not see them again. Thing number two that's going to happen, those of us who have woken up on the left can't go back to sleep because we woke up and that the house is on fire. We can't see that and then can allow ourselves to pretend like it's not, because we know what the consequences of that is. We're already in every election we've had some type of conversation like this, but we're already hearing the folks saying we need somebody to run against Biden. Oh, what if we did a third party? And you have people that have been through this a couple of times, generally speaking, turning to them and explaining why it's not a good idea strategically. But the heart of the thing isn't wrong. Ultimately, the issue is that we are simply, we're not right for each other. Chuck Schumer and I sit in a room. First of all, he says, "Who the hell are you?" But after introductions are made, the stuff we will agree and disagree on will start to look a hell of a lot like two parties that exist in the same country. And it's going to be harder for people on the left to take refugees from people on the right. It's going to be harder because we do what we do because we have an ideology. Whereas centrists, their ideology is a little of this, a little of that, pay me money. I don't think the corporate influence is going to go away in the United States. Not overnight. That's what we're going to be working to get rid of. But as they exist, who do they fund? They fund centrists and they fund the far right for the same purposes, though. So, if the far right makes it so that Republicans simply can't exist anymore, they cannot win office anymore, well, they're not the best of them won't want to keep playing for a losing team. If Democrats find the same thing starting to happen, which, by the way, I encourage us to make happen by voting heavily in primaries and telegraphing our votes in those primaries, telling people exactly why, anyone who will listen, exactly why we're voting the way we're voting. I foresee, just like we have about once every 100 years in this country, a political shift where the parties no longer mean the things they used to mean. I don't know. I just think it. And regardless, I'm glad that Mitch McConnell had an uncomfortable speech because he's basically the devil.